Jump scares, dark themes, a villain. Yeah.
Film.
In a horror film, I expect to see a lot of violence and a lot of barriers that the victims have to overcome. I would like to see some intimidation, obviously, because that's where the horror factor lies, in my opinion. And, you know, just the typical low-key lighting and scary setting.
In a horror film, I expect to see quite a lot of tension, like creation of really like tense build-ups and jump scares for climaxes and things like that.
Oh, depends on what horror film that I'm watching. Obviously, if it's like a slasher film, I'm expecting to see like a final girl. I'm expecting to see dark shadows. I'm expecting to see an ominous figure. I'm expecting to see a backstory of some kind. If it's a haunted house film, I'm expecting to see some elements of a gothic environment, an old house probably, big rooms, kind of Victorian, or if it's in America, like, you know, those old kind of New England style houses, stuff like that. I'm expecting to see threat. I'm expecting to see people under threat, usually, like, obviously with the slasher genre, it's usually teenagers, and even average haunted house movies, it tends to be teenagers as well, although that's changing now with newer films. You're having a more varied age range of people.
A horror film, I want to not be overly scared, but it needs to build up the right type of tension, that it's making you like uncomfortable and that you want to be doing something else. Maybe a jump scare for like the climax, but nothing like overly cheesy or gory, because that just kind of kills the whole mood.
Jump scares, definitely. A lot of tension, and I kind of expect not to see the monster. If that makes sense? So yeah.
In a heist film, I'd expect to see backstories. So like the reason like why is a heist film. Probably to focus on like one character who's maybe got like troubles and like that's why like they're doing a heist. And like obviously the reason like how everyone in it meets together, because normally in a heist film there might be like a group of people and I want to like see how they all know each other and how they'll connect in it.
Just a lot of like fast-paced, maybe action scenes or montage scenes, some handheld shots where like whip pans, just maybe a car chase.
In a heist film, fast movement, maybe some like props like guns and things like that, and just very fast-paced. Yeah, just very fast-paced movement.
In a heist film, I would expect to see maybe like a car chase or like a running scene, running away from something. Maybe like music wise, maybe like alarms going off, and characters that are up to no good, I guess, like sneaky characters, the good guys and bad guys.
I expect to see a heist film. I expect to see a MacGuffin, which is the thing that the people are wanting to steal. Okay, so I'm expecting to see a reason for it. I'm expecting to see a team of people that are going to pull off the heist. I'm expecting to see chase sequences. I'm expecting to see various different things like that.
I think it has to have a lot of action. I really like sort of like shots where like you've got all the members of the heist sort of in a line walking together. I think that looks really good. So that sort of screams heist. Yeah, just a lot of action, just fast paced, good music as well. So like music that adds to that sort of drama. Yeah, just stuff like that.
In a heist film, I expect to see like you want something, you know, plans to go and get it. You know, I expect to see a lot of fast moving, you know, a lot of shots that are very quick. Definitely the date it's released or coming soon. Obviously the title and things, and like funny clips from the film, or like if it's not something that have funny moments, like the most dramatic moments.
In a film trailer, I expect to see specific parts of the film that are gonna be the interesting ones and the bits that make you want to go see the film. Also some good title screens with some good text on it.
A film trailer. The highlights of the film, a basic summary of the plot, and a cliffhanger at the end. So you're like, oh, I want to go see that.
In a film trailer, I expect to see sort of like a taster of what the film offers. So let's say it's like an action film, I'd expect to see a bit of action but nothing really significant to the film's storyline. So keeping something like interesting and on topic to the genre, but not giving away too much and keeping it interesting for the audience.
In a film trailer, I expect it to cover like quite a lot of action in that, but still like doesn't give away the storyline and the plot.
The film trailer, depends what film it is really. I'm expecting to see not the best bits of the film, but bits of a film that will actually sell the film to an audience. I mean, I'd really dislike trailers that show you all the plot points and all the best bits of the film before you go to see the film. But I expect to see what the film is going to feel like, as opposed to maybe what it's going to be about. I want to know, what it is that I'm going to see and how it's going to make me feel, and from that I can make a decision as to whether I want to go and see it or not.
In a film trailer, I expect to see not the best moments, but intriguing moments from the film to get me sort of hooked and want to go and see it.
In an Andrea Arnold film, I expect a lot of natural lighting, just like the sky providing light for us, or just lights in a building. Also, I would expect some hard-hitting storyline, because that's kind of what she plays off with teenagers and single mothers.
Probably like a character with like a troubled background and like just like about their life, and like just to focus on one character, because I feel like she wouldn't really focus on like too many characters at once.
Urban locations, darker colour templates, and a more darker view on society as a whole.
Andrea Arnold. So a girl as the main character, I would say. She typically uses girls, and quite low, not like maybe more poorer people.
In an Andrea Arnold film, I'd expect to see lots of like handheld camera movement and probably a woman main character with like working class sort of families and issues that working class families might face.
In an Andrea Arnold film, I expect to see a lot of handheld camera, a lot of realism to a certain extent, down-to-earth characters, moving camera shots, but again handheld. I was going to say quite rough, but it's not rough because it's nicely designed. Lots of naturally lit settings as opposed to studio lighting and stuff like that. So those kind of elements.
So in an Andrea Arnold film, you expect to see like a sort of real, sort of gritty storyline. So characters that come from like a background of poverty, poor costuming, obviously nothing too flashy, so like, just the bog standard jeans, maybe trackies, something like that. I think Andrea Arnold does some handheld stuff, so it'd be good to see some of that in an Andrea Arnold film. But yeah, just sort of like a really sort of gritty, sort of real storyline that people can relate to, something that kind of opens your eyes to like the actual reality rather than something too flashy and overdone.
Some cinema has got to the point where we find it audiences find it difficult to accept slower burn narratives, if that makes sense. and we get a lot of like kind of blockbuster films that are more about spectacle than they are about character-driven stories. I mean, if you look at a lot of the blockbusters of the 80s, and obviously you had the stuff that was more spectacle-driven as well, but a lot of us like the Spielberg stuff and things like that. It was all about character. It was all about getting to know the people in the film, like, you know, through us identifying with them. We obviously, like, you know, we cared about what happened to them. And I think we did get to a point where, you know, the narrative of films moved very quickly in more recent years, and I don't think that can be detrimental to narrative. Whereas you've got directors now like Alfonso Cuarón and like David Yates and Mick Jackson and what's his name? The guy that directed the recent Blade Runner and Prisoners. I'm trying to remember his name now. It escapes me. Anyway, I'm trying. He's one of my favourite directors. I can't really. He also directed Arrival. But I think those films have more in common with like 1970s, 1980s films, where they take their time and they don't treat the audience as, you know, don't treat the audience as being stupid, and they let them decide things for themselves. Whereas we tend to try, not everybody, but a lot of popular cinema tends to have way too much exposition and stuff like that. Also, like, you know, we went through a stage where our reliance on the CGI was insane, and everything was computer generated, whereas we're moving back towards more of a mix of practical effects and computer generated effects, which I think creates a more realistic form of cinema. And I think there's a lot of exciting people out there at the moment.